Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm your host Necro. This will be my first Let's Play. We will be playing Feed the Beast, mod pack, uh, Infinity Evolved Skyblock. It's a really old mod pack, but I think it's a good one. It is a kitchen sink mod pack, meaning that it has just about every mod from the time it came out. And when it says everything but the kitchen sink, it pretty much means everything but the kitchen sink. We have everything from tech to magic to dimensions, all sorts of crazy stuff. I think it should be a pretty interesting experience. Now, some of you, dear viewers, may have noticed I had a pretty strange title for the world we're going to be making, as I have a bit of a goal to make with this particular playthrough. I am a fan of the RPG Maker game, Yume Nikki, and its many fan games. You do not know about it, I highly recommend you play it. There are a number of different ways to play it, although I will be linking my favorite way to play it, which is Yume Nikki Online. Let you play with friends, but in short, the game is about exploring a series of dreams that have an interconnected world that is full of surreal, beautiful sights, even sometimes kind of spooky things. So for this vast expanse, I'd like to sort of replicate the feeling of different abstract, strange locations with obscure connections. I think that'll be a fun little building goal. Because as you can see, this is all we're starting with. Not even grass. So let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna grow some trees. Now I've played a bit of this mod pack before, so I have a basic outline for the progression, but it does get a bit grindy. But our first goal is to get a bunch of wood so we can make ourselves some tools and a cobblestone generator. Oh yes, there's one more thing I need to do. I'll do that as soon as I chop down this tree. Vanilla tools are only used as crafting recipes. So the wooden pickaxe and axe, stone pickaxe and axe, have very little durability, worse than gold. So they're only used to sort of jump on to tinkers, which we'll get here in just a second. But I'll enable our questing mode so we can get a nice little quest book to help us progress. But I'm not really interested in playing hardcore, so I'll disable the lives. But we do have a nice quest book that'll help us progress. It is pretty loose, but it definitely helps you through the early game. If any of you would like to join me in playing this mod pack, I will be sure to include a link in the description. So, I have a nice big tree here. It's going to be a little bit of a pain to cut down, but I'll take care of it. So, this is a hard or expert mode pack, so a lot of the progression is made different. For instance, here, we go in here, see our wood log only nets us 2 planks. Later on, we'll have access to machines to increase the amount of planks we get from wood, but that's quite a ways down the line. When I was much younger, I actually didn't care much for Skyblock mod packs. I was like, well, where's the exploration? Where's all the stuff to do? Felt like just a bunch of busy work on a floating island. But as I've gotten older, I've realized there's a lot of cool things you can do in Skyblock. I mean, you're literally making the world from the ground up. It can be anything you want, which I think is an interesting position. That could have been disastrous. But it's an interesting position to take on Minecraft's creativity. So you can make anything you want, but you have to make it from nothing. Well, not quite nothing, but very limited resources, we'll say. I've had experience with a lot of these mods before, but I'm not the greatest at them. So as we play, I will will be a bit of a learning experience for me as well. But I have some particular favorite mods that I'll indulge in. I am a big fan of forestry for Minecraft, especially the bees. So there'll probably be many an episode spent breeding bees. Particularly fond of witchery as well. One of my favorite my favorite mods in general, uh, because it has so many interesting little features and facets that are kind of obscure, but they're really fleshed out. Uh, Especially the brewing system. The brewing system is very interesting for witchery. You can make all sorts of potions, but like they're not laid out for you. You have a list of ingredients, what you can make, and it's up to your own creativity and ingenuity to make the best potion you can. There we go. As much as I enjoy the wood I'm getting from this tree, I kind of wish I had a bit of a smaller one. But all this stuff is much later on down the line. We have a lot of ground to cover. Well, we have very little ground to cover, I should rather say. And that's kind of the problem. Our main goal is to get a bunch of wood, so we can make a bit of platforms, get get the tinker's tables set up, and then we will be able to make our cobblestone generator, get some good tools, and take it from there. So I've never done any Let's Plays before, so you'll have to bear with me here. I'll try to keep colorful commentary going on. I enjoy many things. I've been playing Minecraft for, good golly, about 13 years now. Yeah, that sounds about right. 13 years. I remember many of the old mods, and this is probably will get a whole lot of popularity playing a version this archaic, but it's whatever I want. It's my channel. If you like the things that I like, then we'll get along great. I might consider playing some other mod packs in the future, but I just want something nice and kind of casual. Get off of work, make a 20, 30-minute episode. Real easy peasy stuff. Oh, be careful. I never understood why this mod pack had a certain like limited number of lives. Seems a bit counterintuitive to me. Because there's only one threat in this game that isn't introduced by yourself. And that's falling off the island. I mean, monsters aren't going to spawn unless you give them a place to spawn. They can't spawn directly on top of you, so that's not a danger. You're not going to like starve to death very easily. There isn't. Yeah, the only lava in this mod pack is the lava that you place. There we go. So I made a crafting table and I made a crafting station. So for those of you who are unenlightened, the difference between the crafting table and a crafting station is this. You can walk away, it's still there. And if it's placed near a chest, you can draw out items from that chest's inventory, which is really nice. But our first goal is going to be to make some patterns. Make our Tinker's Table stations. for the benefit of the viewing audience, I'll try to explain how the different mods work, uh, what's so great about them, etc., etc. So we'll take a blank pattern, bit of wood. It's going to give us a stencil table. And it'll give you some books on reference and tutorialize how to use the mod. But put a stencil table here. So we take blank patterns and you put them in there, and you could pick out patterns to use for the next table we're going to make, which is the part builder. You take your patterns, you put them over here, put a material in there, and you'll get that part. We use these parts, long last, at the tool station. Select the type of tool you want to make. So if you want a pickaxe, you'll need a pickaxe head, tool binding, and a handle. But let's make some more blank patterns. Normally, the crafting recipe gives you 4, but this is an expert mode pack. It wants you to be a bit more tight on resources. So it gives you only 1. Let's plant a tree right here. We'll take this. I'm going to make. It'll be useful here in just a second. Take a chest and a blank pattern, we get a pattern chest. What's that useful for? Well, you see, when you make your patterns like so, this, let's get shovel head and an axe head. So as you can see, it is a little expensive on materials. So what you can do is you can put a pattern chest right next to the part builder, and voila! You can store your patterns in here and pull them out when you need them, where they're relevant. So to make our pickaxe, we will need head, binding painter, handle. So let's make our tool rod. Then this guy only needs half a material, so sticks counted as half of a wood. So got our wood binding. Excellent. All right. We look at our pickaxe head. We need to make it out of stone, flint, obsidian, netherrack, plastic, or pink slime. We have none of those. So we're just going to hold on to that stuff for right now. Let's get some more wood. Let's make ourselves a wooden pickaxe. This will serve us just for a little bit of time. Yeah, let's just do that. Let's build over this way. So, tricky thing is to make this cobblestone generator, but we have to make it out of wood to start off with, which that could be a bit difficult. So let's do this here. All right. So pro tip for anyone making a cobblestone generator, you want the lava to flow into the water, not vice versa. So we have this little hole here for the water to flow down. So look here for the lava. So lava goes here, water goes here. There we are. Gosh darn it. Let me have some of the stone, please. Okay. 1 is fortunately just enough. I was going to get a little agitated there. Okay, so we've got all our parts we need. We're going to put our pickaxe head on top. Tool binding here. Right here, we've got our first real tool. There we go. Now, Thinker's Construct seems pretty complicated when you first start, but as you get used to it, it's not too bad. There we go. Now we're cooking with peanut oil. Sorry if I kind of talk like an old man. I'm not actually that old. I'm 24, but I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'm much older than that. Right. Let's fix this up a bit so this doesn't burn down. Here we go. Let's break this a little bit. So I'm not going to worry too much about building anything really beautiful just yet. We are mainly worried about function over form, but we can make it look kind of better, not just trash. I'll try to do that, but that's concerns for many episodes down the line. But we are off to an excellent start. We have our fireproof cobble generator. I'm going to take a quick break. Join me for the next episode where we continue getting more cobble, get some more wood, hopefully start some actual progression.